Hi, this is Jeremy Wendemaler, Trial Manager here at Walters Gardens, and today we're going to talk about Bush Clematis. Some of the difference between Bush Clematis and Climbing Clematis are that the Bush Clematis will die all the way down to the ground in the fall and winter time, and that's a plant you can trim right to the crown, and it will rejuvenate itself the following spring. They don't necessarily climb up a trellis. It's best to have them surrounded by like a peony ring or something like that, so that it's more of an upright plant, doesn't get near as long and tall as a climbing clematis does. So generally these are planted from bare root, so we offer a grade 1 bare root plant here at Walters. These are best planted under cool conditions. Just like the regular climbing clematis, we recommend starting these at 45 degrees Fahrenheit, and what that does is it helps establish root growth before it pushes much top growth. The general finishing time is going to be around 8 to 10 weeks at around 45 to 55 degrees in temperature. And what we have here are some plants that are about 5 weeks old that were grown at 55 degrees. And you can see they're about 10 to 12 inches tall at this point. And that's the point you're going to want to start thinking about putting some kind of a ring around the container. There's different things available on the market. I've seen plastic rings that attach right to the rim of the pot. That's usually an inexpensive option to go with, and it works really well. Here we have some metal rings that work really well too, but that's something that we just recommend in a container to have some kind of way to support the plant. General pH for clematis are going to be around 5.8 to 6.4, and they're not heavy feeders, so generally the EC level should be around 1.5 to 2.5 using the pour-through method. Now, bare root plants arrive to you vernalized, so you don't need to worry about any kind of vernalization. And then as far as potting goes, the planting depth is really important with clematis. With the climbing clematis, we generally recommend to have at least 1 to 2 nodes of the eyes below the soil line. And with the bush clematis, it's pretty close to the same. So we're looking at several nodes here, which you'll see are kind of like knobs on the growing stems there. We want to have at least 1 to 2 of those buried. So this particular plant I'm holding here, it's going to be pretty much all the eyes just at the soil line or slightly below. We generally don't recommend to trim clematis roots. They tend to be a little bit more finicky compared to some other fibrous root perennials. Moisture wise, you want to grow them slightly moist to slightly dry, and it's important to water them in thoroughly after transplanting to eliminate any air pockets within the soil. Once you plant them and they're watered in, you can allow the soil to dry slightly to encourage that root growth. As far as pests and diseases go, they're generally pest free. Occasionally you might find some aphids on the foliage. And as far as the roots go, root knot nematode could be an issue, but generally not. So it's just a crop you want to scout occasionally to make sure that the crop is clean. As far as other diseases go, probably the most common things would be things like leaf spotting, powdery mildew, rust, and leaf blight. And we definitely recommend to scout on a regular basis for diseases and control as necessary. And this is Jeremy Wendemaler with Walters Gardens, and thanks for checking out this video on growing bush clematis.